what I want to portray in my application, right? So almost 2 weeks were devoted to just preparing resume and brainstorming what ideas I want to reflect of my personality in my application. And almost 2 weeks were devoted just for drafting essays and refining every single day. So more specifically, I didn't got my application reviewed from many folks and didn't read any other essays on the internet as well. I was very honest, whatever I was portraying in my application, no boasting up, because I knew if I just try to boast things up in my application, I would be easily caught in the interview too. So be very, very honest in your applications, I would say. Key aspects, if you're very clear about your thought process, and like I would say good communication skills and being prompt in your answers, right? Like no pauses. And it's not just about the content that you speak, right? It's about the confidence and conviction in your voice, how confidently you can answer any questions that come across your way, right? And ability to connect the dots, right, that you have been highlighting in all your sessions. Score first, like always, like once you're preparing, right, don't just think about what schools you would apply. Just at that time, just study and be consistent, get a GMAT score in hand and in a very timely fashion, so that you have a good amount of time to brainstorm as to what schools you want to apply, and then craft the applications really well. Brainstorming is the key. It takes a lot of time. Building good resumes, good essay writing, though there are just 3 essays to write, we think it's very easy.
So everyone, warm welcome. I have with me Kalash, who must have been a recent graduate because he has been admitted to ISB PGP YL cohort 2027. So he'll be joining soon and this. So rather than ask him about the score and everything, because that we get on a regular basis, I'll invite Kalash to just make sure that he talks more about how he prepared his application, what were the challenges. Yeah. Hi, Kalash.
Yeah, thank you, Sandeep sir. So it's really nice interacting, sitting on the other side of the aisle today. And like,
Right.
I've seen people you have inviting students for long, and I always was very motivated with these sessions, right? So I had a very clear-cut vision right from the starting day when I came across Top 1%, right? Your mission was either Ivy League or ISB, since it's the Ivy
Right.
League. India, so nothing less than that, and huge credits to you and my parents. That was a
Absolutely.
vision I had, and I dreamt that vision every single day. And then obviously before you apply, right, you have to get a GMAT score in hand. So I started very early on, but due to some health issues, I was diagnosed with dengue, so delayed my preparation for GMAT. I targeted for 6 months only, but it went on to 9 months on account of a small break on account of health issues. And since I got the GMAT score very early, I know my score was 645, though less as compared to the ISB average too, but I was very confident since other credentials of my profile were very good. So I knew that
Right.
even with a very less score, I can make it because the other credentials are past academic scores, essays, recommendations. So everything is very good enough. So I knew that I will be able to crack.
I want to understand from you, when you say you had a great profile, what
Yeah.
exactly did you have? Can you break it down for us? Did
Yeah,
you
so
have
my
very
academic scores had been very consistent. I had received merit scholarships from my and in my undergraduate too, and even for class 10, 12, and everything. So it had been very great, and a couple of internships too, and good number of extracurricular activities, awards, achievements. So it was all holistic thing. So I knew I could make it, and the idea was like the level of confidence was very high, and I was living that dream daily that I want to get into ISB at any cost. And once I had my GMAT, I had good number of 5 weeks for writing down my application. So what generally happens is, right, students tend to give their GMAT very near to their application
right?
deadline. And that is the way that they don't draft good quality applications, right? So good B school applications take a lot of time. You need to brainstorm a lot. So when I approached Autry as well, right, so he also told that at least boost your score by 20-30 points before you apply. But I didn't had that much time to reapply for the GMAT because I knew if I could focus on my application aspects, I would be easily able to ace that thing. And I really, really brainstormed my aspects of my life, what I want to portray in my application, right? So almost 2 weeks were devoted to just preparing resume and brainstorming what ideas I want to reflect of my personality in my application. And almost 2 weeks were devoted just for drafting essays and refining every single day. So 4 quality weeks were devoted to crafting nice applications. So it's not just GMAT score. If you have a low score, you can obviously compensate through your past academic credentials or even essays you can reflect upon. And the clarity of thought process really mattered, your ability to articulate your thoughts during the interview process, right? And good communication skills. So all these things have worked magically for me. And I just applied to one university in India and I
Wow.
made it in one go. So it was just one shot.
So Kalash, let us know that, okay, how many iterations did you go through in the application process? Because everyone in this batch has recently attended the admissions session that Autry does. So they have just got some idea. but how many iterations does it take? How many days probably, or maybe a month, that we should keep aside for application building?
I would say 5 weeks, minimum 5 weeks, and all weekends should be devoted specifically to you figuring out what you need to put in, and every weekday as well. So consistency has been the key. The way you are being consistent in preparing for your GMAT, right, without any break. Same goes for application as well. You can't leave it aside for even one single day because every day count. Like one idea might have missed, another day you come across, and you want to have it. And more specifically, I didn't got my application reviewed from many folks and didn't read any other essays on the internet as well. I was very honest, whatever I was portraying in my application, no boosting up, because I knew if I just try to boast things up in my application, I would be easily caught in the interview too. So
Right.
be very, very honest in your applications, I would say. That was the key, no boasting up at all. And 5 weeks quality time is needed for any B school application. Since I had just one, so I had spent almost 5 weeks for crafting just one B school application. So students generally do for 7, 8 business schools at one single time. So that really helped me. Since I started early, I started very early on. I had very less than 2 years of experience. So start early, have a clear vision, and just articulate your thoughts very well. And it should reflect your goals as to why are you applying to ISB and what you bring to the cohort, right? A unique perspective or any unique credential that segregates you and sets you apart from the rest of the batch members, right? That no other member has that quality that I have within me. So you have to figure out that quality. And I believe no one else can do that brainstorming on your behalf. It is only you who has to figure out. People like Autry also helped me, and he just gave me the ideas what business schools actually want from students, right? And how to craft applications. Since it was my first time, I never knew how to write a B school application. So the pointers came from Autry, but the brainstorming needs to come from the student, right? The same way, like you can coach students for the GMAT preparation, but you can't study on their behalf, right? This study and the hard work needs to come from the students. And like with the advent of AI tools and chat GPT, right, we find a shortcut to like we'll submit to chat GPT and it will write down the essay. So that's not a shortcut way to do things. So brainstorming and unique ideas should come from you. Otherwise, it's just a very generic application, right? B schools get thousands of applications every year. What sets you apart, you have to figure out.
Superb, superb. What an answer and what clarity. I mean, I must say the kind of clarity you have is amazing. Tell us about your interview experience
So yeah, my interview happened to be in the
and
campus.
mock interviews also, like just
Yeah, I gave one mock interview with Autry as well just before my main ISB interview, and I gave some 2 to 3 other mock interviews with some other industry professionals as well, just to just get acquainted so that there is no surprises on the D-Day. And since ISB interviews are mostly conversational, it didn't require much preparation because no technical questions are being asked. So you have to be very, very, very thorough with your essays. It can be like any single word can be picked up from that essays, and you would be asked to talk about. So that's why I said like you have to be very honest in your essays, because any wrongdoing can easily be reflected in your body language when you talk about, right? Anyone can catch you. Are you being honest enough in your ideas and not? And second thing is the clarity and the vision, right? Are you bringing some
right.
good clarity of your goals? Are you really employable post 2 years? And what unique thing you're bringing to the cohort? Are you going to enrich your batch members' experience? So these things were already being reflected in my essays, and I was very well confident. Like it has been my life and I know very well about it. So I could have easily talked about things, and whatever interesting thing the panel finds in your application, you would be asked to talk about, and very few behavioral and situational based questions. So Autry
Right.
suggested me to prepare few stories around leadership, achievement, failure, conflicts using the STAR method. So that really helped, because though you may not be asked those questions directly, but those kind of stories you could easily pitch in your answers, right? Like I wasn't asked questions directly regarding why MBA, why ISB, but I made it a point that I highlight in my answers and pitch those pointers that I had already prepared in.
All right. And did you ever expect any
No,
scholarship, or
like
did you?
just getting an admit to ISB is a dream come true, right? So scholarship is something secondary. So yeah, I never
Did you
thought
even
like
know that
scholarship. I never.
100% tuition
Yeah,
level
no, no, no.
scholarship were
Yeah.
even possible?
No, I thought maybe just 25% I could have been offered, but not 100%, because I thought my GMAT score was around 645. So that could have been an issue. But yeah, since it was a composite score and holistic approach, so yeah, it went on really
So
nice.
what contributed to you, according to you, in retrospect, what is it that gave you
I think
tuition waiver? means you pay very little, I mean, about the other expenses, but tuition is the major
Right,
expense.
right. We had another interview for scholarship as well, like
Hmm.
post the offers were rolled out. So again, that was a short interview just to check on your clarity of thought as to why should we offer you scholarship out of the bunch of students that they have selected.
Right.
And the other key aspect that they were looking out for the impact that you wish to create on society, the money amount of money that you're saving. So what contributions are you going to make to society post MBA? So that kind of approach to that answer really mattered in that interview. So these two things were the only key aspects. If you're very clear about your thought process and like I would say good communication skills and being prompt in your answers, right? Like no pauses. And it's not just about the content that you speak, right? It's about the confidence and conviction in your voice, how confidently you can answer any questions that come across your way, right? And ability to connect the dots, right? That you have been highlighting in all your sessions. So connecting your past records and all the past credentials, right, to the future aspects as to what will you be doing at ISP and how it connects to your goals post ISP. So the ability to connect them and articulate them really mattered.
Superb, superb. And just what should someone do right now? Let's say we are in April and
Right.
people will be applying in round one of regular ISB or they might be applying YL. I'm not sure
Right.
who will be applying in which segment. What can people do right from now so that they kind of seal the deal that ISB to ho hi jayega? That sort of a thing. What do
Right.
you think?
I think get a GMAT score first. Like always, like once you're preparing, right, don't just think about what schools you would apply. Just at that time, just study and be consistent. Get a GMAT score in hand and in a very timely fashion so that you have a good amount of time to brainstorm as to what schools you want to apply and then craft the applications really well. Brainstorming is the key. It takes a lot of time. Building good resumes, good essay writing. Though there are just three essays to write, we think it's very easy, but if you really tend to actually sit down and write it yourselves, you will really feel the need that you have to give in quality time. So have a GMAT score by June maybe, and then since I think in July applications open up,
Right,
so
right,
it will be
absolutely.
better if we have good quality time and apply in round one. So round one is the best to always apply. Chances for getting scholarships are high, and the competition is a bit narrow in round one. I would say like for any business school, so R1 is
Okay.
always better.
Superb to know. And obviously, your preparation got a bit lengthened. As you said, you got
Yes.
health issues, some of
Right.
them. But apart from that, during that time, was it work? Was it like, did you watch some of the Know the World
Yeah,
stuff?
like I
Like,
think I
what did
went
you go
through
through?
80%
I
of the
just,
Know the World series. So as I started my preparation, right? So I came across a session in January end, like where you said that you have to leave social media, you have to uninstall all these social media apps because if there are any distractions, reels being popped up in your messages. So if you're not being consistent, you won't have that GMAT score. It will take years to get there. So I simply followed your advice, and on that single day itself, I simply uninstalled all the apps and I only installed it post I got the offer letter from ISB. So
wow.
that was the key. So I
Amazing.
really I had to cut down socially because if you're not being consistent, because managing a hectic job, I'm also staying alone away from my family, managing household work and managing my health itself was a big task along with the GMAT preparation. I used to get up very early in the morning, study for 3 hours every single day, even if I didn't have any mood, just to be consistent enough, right? So putting in those 3 hours daily, and you have to cut down socially. There is no other way out, be it on weekends too. I'm not saying like complete socially a cut, but post your exam is near. I think those 2 to 3 weeks complete social isolation is necessary because you get to be in that mind frame and develop the mindset, right? And you won't be having any anxiety issues on the exam day. So once you have that confidence enough, right, that I will definitely ace this, my preparation is good, and you just leave things to God. You have done your hard work, so there won't be any surprises on test day. And if you're being anxious on test day, then you are losing your critical time on the test day as well. And I knew that even if I didn't get to ISB this point in time, I'll again reappear for GMAT and get a score of 675. Because in my mocks too, I was scoring in the same range of 645, 655. And I knew that I will definitely get nothing less than 645. So again, that kind of
That is equivalent to
confidence.
a 700 score earlier. So that's
Yeah.
pretty good for ISB anyway. Okay. Another thing, you've been using the word consistency a lot.
Right.
So were there days when it was very difficult for you to study? Like
Yeah,
did
like since the preparation got delayed and it was 8 months already, and there was no enjoyment being happening in life, right? The fun part was already missing, and it was very demotivating as well sometimes. But you have to put in, like, I would say I had just put in 1 year and 2 to 3, 15 months of good amount of preparation, and results are extremely rewarding. If just for 1 year we can leave everything and we can have a great career, then why not, right? So I have seen people just trying to figure out what they have to do in their lives. They're not even clear whether they have to write GMAT or CAT, or they have to do their MBA from India or outside. So clarity of thought is very important from day one. I knew I only want to give GMAT, not at all CAT. If not India, I'll go for US school. So that kind of clarity of thought, and you have to live your dream daily, I would say. Only then you will have that mindset for preparation. And even when there are days for demotivation, so then there were your KTW series as well, wherein you kept motivating, right? So that kind of push was very
Language, I see
necessary.
my language. I mean, you're saying daily consistency, got to do it, and you really have to cut down on all the
Right.
other things.
Like that
Everyone,
really worked for me. There was no
I
other way.
understand,
Yeah.
obviously. So everyone else, do you think there are some key takeaways here? Consistency, clarity, and clarity is really big, by the way.
Right.
Sometimes we don't have that kind of clarity. So I hope you are listening in and let me know what you feel around it. Please, would like to hear your thoughts as well. Anybody listening in, we can actually have, let me just give you audio access to 2, 3 people here. Just wanted to know, what is it that stood out for you? This interview is being done for you, and not really for me, because I've done so many of them already. I know the tricks of the trade. Probably he learned all of them from me only. My point is there something that has stood out for you? Please tell me. Batao yaar.
Yes, definitely, sir. I think the first that we should have the consistency, and also we should take your advice sincerely. Still have social media apps, so I think this is the
It
right
has
time
to
to.
be clarity. I always say,
And
know the world. There's a session number 5. आप जरूर देखिए उसको. You'll come to know that there are 4 brains that we have, and how is it that we are governed most of the times by things that are not relevant to us. So I'll always say that please do go through it, and I'll join you in a subsequent session. Thank you, Kalash, for your time, and it's
Yeah.
been
Thank you.
wonderful talking to you. I'm so happy that first thing is all those things that I say, if they are said by a student who's just been successful, it is always better, and people do relate to it much more from the point of view of student if it's coming. So I'm really happy, and congratulations for your success. When do you have to join this program now?
Yeah, in June, third week of June. So yeah.
So you could have anywhere between 0 and 2 years of work ex, right?
Yeah,
And it's
close to
20 month
2 years. So
program.
July,
It's a
I'll
20
complete
month
to,
program.
yeah, it's a 20-month program. Yes.
Super. So this is not ISB's regular program. This is a new program called ISB YL, and you could have 0 to 2 years of work experience and apply. So amazing result, and all the way best. Do keep in touch then.
Yeah, sure.
See
Okay.
you.
Thank you.